I want you to think about everything that you've ever had to go through in your life. Every sickness, every failed test, every loved one that you've watched die. And now I want you to think about whether or not everything that you've gone through in this life will even matter once you're dead. Hey guys, Reese here from Psalm 71:17, and today I'm kind of sorry about the dark, dreary intro that I just had, but today I'm covering a bit of a dark, dreary topic. I've actually covered this topic before, most recently in my Is God Out There video. Today I'm going to be covering the question, what does it matter? Now, allow me to explain what I mean by what does it matter. Very recently, I heard a lesson from a friend of mine at church, and he used the phrase, spiritual but not religious. In context, he was saying that a lot of famous celebrities will claim that they're spiritual but not religious. That they may believe in a higher power and an inner spirit, but that they don't feel the need for church or for following the Bible or things like that. And so that raises the question, if there is a God, but His word, His inspired word doesn't really matter, then what does? Some people don't like to get involved with topics like this. With topics like, is there a God or did we come from a big bang? Did we all evolve or were we created? Is the world 6,000 years old or 2.7 billion years old? And the reasoning for this is, what does it matter? What does it matter whether or not we were created or whether we evolved? What does it matter whether or not the earth is so old or so young? And today that's what I'm going to be answering in this video. Now, first of all, I want to address the statement I made at the beginning of this video. You taking everything wrong that's ever happened in your life. Everything that you've ever done wrong, everything that you've ever seen someone do wrong, every death you've experienced of someone you loved, and imagine what it would be like if none of that mattered. And now I want you to understand that the worldview that the American education system is pushing is telling you that, yeah, none of that matters. Everything that you go through in this life is ultimately building up to your death, after which point, there's nothing to look forward to afterwards. It's just an eternal rest after that, until the world goes through another big bang in however many million years. So that's the belief that our nation is trying to push right now, is that everything that we go through in this life, it doesn't matter. So this answer can seem kind of both good and bad at the same time. On the one hand, yeah, I don't want to go through all of the bad things that this life has to offer just to inevitably die and then have nothing to look forward to after that. But on the other hand, I mean, life has its good moments, and death is going to be an eternal rest. There's nothing to dread after death, so, I mean, it's a win-win, I guess. Except it's not. Blaise Pascal was a very famous mathematician, and it was he who came up with the famous Pascal's Wager. And the wager said something along these lines. If you're a Christian, you can't lose. And here's what he meant by that. If you're a Christian, and I'm not, and there is no God, and we both die, no one loses. We both end up in an eternal rest, nothing happens. But if you're a Christian, and I'm not, and there is a God, I've just lost everything, while you've won or gained more than you could ever hope for in this life. This wager sums up the question of what does it matter fairly well. If there is a God, everything that He has said matters. But if there isn't, nothing that is said matters. And so people end up divided between, do I believe in a God, at which point I will be rewarded after I'm dead, by living a life that may be harder than that of someone who doesn't follow the Bible, or do I just give in to the pleasures of this life and hope that there isn't a God, and once I die, it's all over? But there is a variable missing in that equation. It's not just, if I live my life based on the Bible here on earth, I'll get a reward in heaven. Or I can live my life how I want here, and if there is no God, I just won't get that reward. There's another variable in there. If there is a God, He says in His word that He will reward those who did well, but He will also punish those who did not. So this question of what does it matter adds a whole nother layer once you realize that your life here on earth will ultimately affect whether or not you get rewarded or punished. I said this in my Is God Out There video, and I'm not going to go too far into it again. It's a matter of faith. It's a matter of, do you believe that there's a God? If you believe that there's a God, then everything that he has ever said matters. It matters because you have a spirit inside of you. A spirit that will ultimately spend eternity in either a place of paradise or a place of torment upon your death. If you don't believe in God, then you believe in a cosmic explosion known as the Big Bang. That you don't have a spirit inside you. You're no different than a highly developed animal. And that when you die, that's it. Your life's over, and nothing that you've said or done will affect what happens after your death. Now, at this point, I hope you kind of understand the standpoint we here at Psalm 71:17 take. Me and Noah have made multiple videos on trying to prove the existence of God. We have a video up called Why We Choose to Believe the Bible. So you obviously know where we stand in this matter of why does it matter. So I'm not going to spend any of this video trying to prove whether or not God is real or disprove evolution. I'm going to leave that for future videos. All I'm trying to do with this video is lay out the stakes. If you believe in God, and he's real, and you follow his word, then you will be rewarded beyond your wildest imagination. If you believe in God, and you follow his commands, and he isn't real, you end up in a grave, dead. If you believe in evolution, and evolution is true, and that we all came from a cosmic explosion, again, nothing happens. You end up in a grave for eternity. But if you believe in evolution, and there is a God, then you will be punished beyond the worst thing that you could possibly imagine. So I guess that this wager comes back to the question that I asked in Is God Out There? Where do you choose to put your faith? Thank you guys for watching this video. It was a bit weird, a bit all over the place, but it is a very important topic, and I think it's a topic that can sometimes get a bit convoluted, kind of get complicated because there's so many layers to it. So I did my best to kind of deconstruct that and talk about why this actually matters. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and be sure to subscribe so that you'll know when we release future content. Check out our website, link in the description, and follow us on Twitter if you want to receive updates and news and things like that. Thank you guys so much for watching this video.